Good evening, Dresden. They say a great marriage is all about finding the right partner at the right time. Well, it's not only true when you want to find the love of your life, but also when it comes to sex. From a biological perspective, sex is all about production, storage, and delivery of sex cells, which is either an egg or a sperm. Now, these guys are generated by a complex process called as meiosis. When you actually think of all the hurdles they encounter, it's a wonder how such a mistake-prone process can produce a large number of sex cells in our body. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the journey of sex cells from struggle to success. Now, imagine you go to a party with a room full of people. How will you find your dance partner? If you stand in one position, it's impossible to get to them. So you start moving around, looking one by one, and you finally find him. When you do, you start pairing with each other and start dancing and exchanging dance moves with one another. It's very similar what happens during meiosis. As you would have heard about DNA from Krishna, basically chromosomes are a compacted version of the same. Now, homologous chromosomes, which are basically chromosomes from your father and your mother, they both need to first find each other among all the other chromosomes in the cell at the right time, after which they need to start pairing with each other, and then they exchange DNA between them. This is called as crossing over. Now, after which they segregate and divide. Now, it is after this, due to this exchange of DNA, what happens is every single sex cell that is produced has a different set of DNA in them. And that is what makes us different from everybody else. Having said that, it's not as easy as it sounds, right? We are talking about genetic information that actually builds us. Just like us, even our cells make mistakes. So what if faulty DNA is passed on, or a cell gets more or less DNA than required? Well, we have an incredible system which protects us from corruption. We have molecular guardians in our cells, which make sure that correct DNA is passed on, correct DNA is passed on to the next generation. However, when it doesn't happen, the culprits are killed. But once in a while, what happens is you have some culprits that survive. And when they do, this is what causes genetic disorders. For example, Down syndrome, which is caused by an extra chromosome. As a scientist, what I do is basically I get into the very nuts and bolts of how such information in our DNA is correctly mixed, matched, and segregated in sex cells. This is very important to better understand genetic disorders and even cancer that is caused due to such mistakes. So always remember, success can only come through struggle, continuous effort, and discipline, just like our sex cells. Thank you.